It is day 106 of going live every day. And that means it is finally time, I'm making that up, to talk about your NB power bills going up. Now, I moved here in 2018 and I was shocked at how expensive power was moving here from Ontario. Now, I have kind of a pretty old house here in St. Stephen, and it kind of leaked heat like a sieve. So I did have the downstairs sprayed with foam, and we had the assessment and all that kind of stuff. And I did see a slight reduction once we got some cracks sealed and things like that. I did pay some sort of assessment. It was $100 to have somebody come and assess, and I was hoping to save all kinds of money on the upgrades I did, and there was a certain limited amount of time to do that. And it turns out that after all that work done, and it was several $1,000s, I got $50 back for that work. So that program was a bit ridiculous, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody benefited from it, but that was kind of my welcome to New Brunswick slap in the face when it comes to, wow, I can retrofit my house. There's a government program. I pay $100 to enter the program. I got $50 at the end of the day after spending thousands. So, again, I saw a slight reduction from the actual work that was done, but then it's gone up and up and up. So last year I paid $350 a month for hydro with the equalization payments. Just getting personal here, you might as well know. And now it is up to $400 a month equalization payment. So $50 more per month, bam, right out of our household budget for hydro. Now, this is where, as I said yesterday, what I want to start doing is talking to you about what the Green Party is promising when we are talking about making things more affordable. This is what we want to plan to do. And in my case, my wife and I both work, and I have a corporation. And so $50 a month hurts, but it's not a deal breaker like it is for many, many households who are having trouble making ends meet, put food on the table, put gas in the tank, pay for insurance and things like that. And that is why the Green Party is committing to setting up a New Brunswick Electricity Support Program for households that make less than $70,000 a year after taxes. So this is 200,000 households in New Brunswick would receive, on average, so some more, some less, based on some components of the formula, $25 a month relief. Now, again, for myself, I just saw a $50 increase. That would not apply to me, but I do believe that we need to be pooling together our tax base and helping households that are most vulnerable. And so I do agree with this decision. I think it's a great decision for helping people make ends meet. I know that you've seen your hydro bills increase just like mine. So that is one thing we are committing to. That would be great news for many, many households in Saint Croix across this riding. The other thing we need to ask, though, is why. So prices in hydro, your bill is getting higher and higher and higher all the time. And so, of course, we want to bring relief to that. But it is one of those downstream effects that we are going to establish measures to help households who are feeling that crunch. But you need to go upstream and say, what is causing the constant increase in hydro? Like I say, it's gotten out of control since 2018, since I've been here. Every year, you find out, guess what? The same way you find out your property taxes are going up or your rent's going up, guess what? Your hydro bill's going up, and not by just a little. Again, I find $50 a month, $600 a year to be quite shocking. And so when you start looking into why is that happening, the answer is it should be devastating. And I mean, even if you are a conservative voter, I think you need to start seriously questioning the NB Power, the administration, and what we are investing in. We are continuing to shovel money into power sources that cost us more and more and more money when we look at the rest of the world and we see other power sources. And yes, I'm not saying what the power sources are because sometimes they become trigger words or very polarizing. And I'm looking at the time and I'm going to have to pick this up tomorrow. I'm not even going to say what they are. Just let's put it on a rational, kind of using neutral language level. If we continue to shove, let's just not even say we, you're looking at, let's say you're looking at a province where they continue to plow more and more money into power sources that fail, that are inefficient, where the infrastructure is crumbling, where it costs tens of millions of dollars to replenish, to refurbish. And again, they keep going down, which means that province has to purchase power from another neighboring province. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Uh, or instead of that province saying, oh my goodness, we can clearly see other power sources set up in this province and other provinces that are sustainable, that are cheaper, that are more reliable, that help us with pollution emission reductions and meet anti-pollution targets very easily. And the technology is there to store that power. Okay, just on its face, it doesn't make sense to keep going down that same road. And so I'm going to continue more tomorrow with specifics about how, yes, folks, in that parable, that province was us. And I got to say, it is time for voters in this province to stop voting against our interest and going down the road that we keep going down. And then I knock on doors and people are disenfranchised, disillusioned, and fed up, but then going to vote again for another legacy party or even the same party. To me, you can't say how upset you are at how broken things are and how we keep doing the same thing over and over, and then you vote the same way. It is time to vote green. I will work so hard in this riding to bring solutions that are sustainable and just make sense on their face. So, more detail tomorrow about, yes, NB Power, how we need to and why we need to pivot away from the energy sources that we are continuing to go down the road in support of, and find new ways of other proven technologies that will give us the power we need at a cheaper rate. That is ultimately what we all want. But the Greens are going to provide support in the short term with that electricity support program. Join me tomorrow for, I guess, what is part 2 of this. There's some important things you need to know to make an informed voter choice this October.